Okay, so now we have 4 plus x exponent 1 on 2. And because we are going to use the expansion 1 plus x exponent n, that is 1 plus nx plus n minus 1 over 2 factorial x squared plus n minus 1 n minus 2 over 3 factorial x cubed up to a term, up to the last term. So because we are going to use this expansion to solve for this, we have to express this to look like this, and therefore we factor 4 out, then we have 1 plus, and we divide the x by 4, or exponent half. Now this is the same as this, because if you multiply 4 by 1, you are getting 4. And when you multiply 4 by x divided by 4, 4 by x is 4x divided by 4, will still give you the x, and you still have your half. Now according to the law of indices, the exponent is affecting these two terms. We have the 4 and the 1 plus x on 4 also in bracket. So this can be expressed as you have 4 exponent half, then the expression you have in the bracket, that is 1 plus x on 4 also exponent half. Now any number raised to the power half is the same as the square root of that number. That means that 4 raised to the power half is the square root of 4, that is 2. So this will be 2 into bracket. You have 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. And so we are now going to solve for 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. When we are done, then we multiply our expression or whatever we are getting by the constant 2. And so in solving for 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. Now when you compare this to the expansion, we have 1 plus x exponent n, and now we have 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. So realize that 1 is the same 1 here, but your x now is x on 4, and your n now is 1 on 2. So wherever you see x in this expression, you substitute that by x on 4. And wherever you see n in this expression, you substitute that by half. And so that's what you are going to do. So take note that our x now is x on 4, and our n now is half. And so this should be 1 plus nx, and n is now half. So you have half x, and x is now x over 4. So you have x over 4. Then plus, the next one is n, and n is still half. So you have half n minus 1. That will be half minus 1. Then over 2 factorial. So then we have x squared, and x is still x over 4. So we have x over 4 all squared. Plus, the next one will be half, and half minus 1. Then we have half minus 2 all divided by 3 factorial x cubed, and x is still x over 4. So we have x over 4 raised to the power 3. And so we are done. Now, because we are asked to leave our expansion as far as the term in s cubed. That means that when you get to the s cubed term, you have to stop, and that is why we are stopping here, because x on 4 all cubed will give us an s cubed term. So we simplify. Now this should be 1 plus 1 times x will be x, then 2 times 4 will give us 8. Then we are going to have half here. Half minus 1 will be minus half, Then we have x squared on 16, because the exponent 2 is affecting both the x and the 4 according to indices. So x squared, then 4 squared also give us 16. Then don't forget that 2 factorial is the same as 2 times 1, and that is 2. Then plus, we have half here. Half minus 1 is minus half. Then half minus 2 is minus 3 on 2. Then we have x on 4 all cubed. And x on 4 all cubed, the 3 is affecting both the x and the 4. So s cubed, we are going to have s cubed divided by, now 4 cubed is the same as 4 times 4 times 4. And that will give us 64. So we have 64 here. All divided by, don't forget that 3 factorial is the same as 3 times 2 times 1. And that will give us 6. And so we are going to have 6 here. Now, to simplify, we have 1 plus x on 8. Then we multiply, so 1 times minus 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 times x squared will give us minus s squared here. Don't forget that it's divided by 2 times 2 is 4. And 4 times 16 will give us 64 here. So we have 64. But don't forget, it's all divided by 2 again. Then we also simplify this, we have 1 times minus 1, that is minus 1, and minus 1 times minus 3 is positive 3. So we have 3 times s cubed, and that will give us plus 3s cubed divided by, then we have 2 times 2, that is 4. 4 times 2, that is 8. Then we multiply 8 by 64, and 8 times 64 give us 512. So we have 512. Then don't forget that it's all divided by 6. It's all divided by 6. So we simplify this further. We are going to have 1 plus x on 8 minus, don't forget that this will be minus x squared divided by 128 divided by 128. Then this should be plus 3s cubed divided by, this should be 3072. That is 3072. That's why you multiply 512 by 6. You are getting 3072. 3072. And when you multiply 64 by 2, you are also getting 128. Now let me explain to you so that you will get the understanding here. Now if you have minus x squared over 64 all by 2. If you have minus x squared over 64 all divided by 2, this is the same as minus x squared over 64. When this division sign changes to multiplication, don't forget that the 2, remember here we have all divided by 2. So all divided by 2 here, that is minus x squared over 64 all divided by 2. This is also over 1. So when division sign changes to multiplication, then the 1 goes up and the 2 comes down. And so minus x squared times 1 will give us minus x squared. But 64 times 2 give us 128. And so that is how come we have minus x squared over 128. That is how come we have minus x squared over 128. Then we also have 3s cubed divided by 512 all divided by 6. So the same approach. 512 will now multiply the 6. And that's how come we have 3072. So in all, this is 1 plus x on 8 minus x squared over 128 plus 3s cubed on 3072. On 3072. And so 3 can go in here. We have 1024. 1024. So you can simplify this further. This is 1 plus x on 8. That is s on 8 minus s squared over 128. That's x squared over 128. Then 3 goes in here, 1024. So this should be, don't forget, this is s cubed. Okay, so this should be plus s cubed here divided by 1024. 1024. So this will now be the expansion for 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. But don't forget that we had 2 multiplying 1 plus x on 4 exponent half. Now the 1 plus x on 4 exponent half has now given us this expression. And so we are now going to multiply our expression by 2, and that will give us the answer for 4 plus s exponent half. So now we multiply our 4 plus, or let's take it here, 1 plus x on 4 exponent half will now be 2 times all this. So 2 times 1 here will give us 2. Then 2 times x here will give us 2x on 8. Then minus 2 times this will give us 2s squared on 128. Then 2 times this will also give us 2x cubed on 1024. Okay, 1024. 1024. And so when you multiply 2 by this expression, we are multiplying 2 by this expression because we simplified this into this form. So it was 2 into bracket 1 plus s on 4 raised to the power half. And take note that we solved for this, and this one gave us this expression. And so if you want to find for this, then we need to multiply the 2 because we left out the 2. That's why we are now multiplying the 2 by the whole of this expression. So 2 times 1 will give us 2. Then 2 times x over 8 will give us 2x over 8. Then 2 times x squared over 128 will give us 2x squared over 128. Okay, then 2 times s cubed over 1024 will give us 2s cubed over 1024. So we can simplify this further. This is 2 plus, don't forget that 2 goes in here 4 times. So it can be x over 4 minus, then 2 also goes in here 64 times. So it can be x squared over 64 plus, then 2 also goes into 1024. It will be 512. 512. And so we can simplify this further. We can simplify this further. Now let's take this formula off and see how we can write. That means that our 4 plus x exponent half, which was expressed in this form, that's 1 plus x on 4 exponent half, is now, we have 2 here plus 2 into 8 is 4 times, so we have x over 4. That is x over 4 minus, then 2 into 128, 64 times, so we have minus x squared over 64. Then 2 into 10, 24, 512. So we have plus x cubed divided by 512. So this will be the answer. This will be the final answer for 4 plus x exponent half. So that is how we solve this problem. And that will be all for now on this particular episode. I advise that you take your time, get your book, get your pen, and follow the procedure so that you can understand whatever is happening on the board. But that will be all for now on this particular episode. Thank you.